I drove a Cadillac. Well, Elvis, he had it all. They say he was the king. But look how happy he was when he split.
Oh, we all need them. We all need strategies for living. So, are you ready? Are you ready for your daily dose of radio rehab?
You know, I got to be ready. I got to stay ready for you because you keep them coming.
I do my best, and I'm going to try. I'm going to put forth for you this evening, Jimmie Bryant. Hey, folks, welcome into 1017 FM 710 Keel. Welcome into another edition of Strategies for Living.
The one and only.
And I'm Dr. David McMillian. He is Jimmie Bryant, PhD. That means he produces, he hosts, and he directs, and he's going to get cured right here on air tonight.
You're going to cure me.
I'm going to cure you.
Let's do it.
Because I know, Jimmie, I can just, I've got the ability to look within you, right? And I know you've got FOMO.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm going to cure your FOMO
Cure some of
tonight.
my, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Our life strategist is here to cure your FOMO tonight.
Deal.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm on board.
This is Thursday, and Gregory Kallenberg was with us last Thursday, right?
And it was magical.
It was, and I said to Gregory, if you will recall, look, Prizefest coming up October the 13th through the 21st. We're just going to make Thursdays Prize Thursday.
I remember that.
Yeah. So Melissa Brannon, who is the Associate Director of Prize Foundation, is with us this evening, and she's got a cure for you, for your FOMO. Yeah.
Sounds great.
And everybody else's FOMO out there. I mean, we do. We have, when it comes to Prize Fest, we should have FOMO. We should have fear of missing out. We really should. And we want to cure everybody this evening.
Listen, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
The
what,
excitement,
FOMO or the cure?
The cure.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
Nothing like it.
Well, we're gonna do that this evening. You and I aren't going to do it. Melissa Brannon's going to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand.
You and I will facilitate. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm a
And
PhD. I got this.
Yeah. Remind me again. Just keep reminding me. Folks, thank you for tuning into Strategies for Living, presented by Prizefest, a festival of film and food and music and fashion and stand-up comedy. Strategies is also presented by the Robinson Film Center, by Azalea Cleaners, by Pintail Roofing,
Roof.
by Learning Rx, by Hempress, Cannabis with Love, 3766 Uri Drive in Shreveport, and by the Shreveport Little Theater. Back in a moment, we're going to meet Melissa Brannon, Associate Director of Prizefest and Prize Foundation. I think I got to get my mouth in order before I get cured.
It's okay. You'll be fine.
I'll do my best. We'll be back.
I'm a PhD, remember?
I'll try to remember.
Reading begins not in the classroom, but in your child's brain. I'm Donisa Walker with Learning Rx Shreveport. If your child struggles to read, maybe he or she has trouble focusing or comprehending, Learning Rx Shreveport offers a science solution to reading problems, working one-on-one with your child, targeting his or her reading skills. Today, call Learning Rx Shreveport. Make an appointment to have your child assessed. I know you want to help your child, so does Learning Rx Shreveport.
Hi, this is Jay Merle for Pintail Roofing. Let's talk about quality. When you hire Pintail to build your roof, here's what you can expect. Quality and quality control are the most important concerns for us at Pintail, and you need to know that Pintail stands tall with swift and professional performance on any warranty call. This is our most important policy. And remember, we're your neighbors. We'll be here for you for the long haul. Our family's lived here for over 100 years, and we aren't going anywhere. On the commercial side of Pintail's business, our fluid-applied roofing solutions can save thousands of dollars over conventional commercial roofing options. Call Pintail at 226-ROOF for a free inspection of your home or commercial building. That's 226-7663. Pintail Roofing. What's the condition of your roof?
And welcome into 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Welcome into Strategies for Living. Jimmie, Bryant, David McMillian. Let's welcome in our life strategist. She is Melissa Brannon, the Associate Director of Prize Foundation. Melissa grew up in Shreveport. She, like so many others, she left for a while, but she came back. Came home. And came back here in 2015, joined up with Prizefest in 2018. Actually joined Prizefest after you competed in Food Prize.
I did.
Yeah. And so welcome to Strategies for Living. Glad you're here, Melissa.
Well, I appreciate being here. I'm
there she goes.
There she goes. We're here. We're
Now-
live. It's
now
happening.
we're-
It's
now
hap-
it's-
now I'm on the
Now.
mic.
Right now. Right now.
What were you saying about flying this thing now?
I said I got it.
Yeah.
Here's a tip, a little strategy tip. Get right up on the mic.
There you go. And another little strategy tip for our producer. Push the button.
Got to push the button. Got to be pressed. Needs to be lit up.
Oh man! So thank you for coming, and I want to talk a little bit. Of course, you got big shoes to follow.
Oh
Last
my gosh,
Thursday,
I know.
Gregory was here, and man, talk about energy. I think there's still energy in this room from Gregory Kallenberg
Yeah,
last
probably
week.
that. Maybe a little glitter, maybe a little half-drink bottle of tequila somewhere.
Some
He,
tequila.
he mentioned all of that.
Yeah, I feel like, and there we've summed it up.
You know, last Thursday when he was here, he talked a lot about the history of Prize,
Yeah.
and he hit a lot of the points, especially the film and the food and the music and the fashion and the comedy. But he just touched Startup Prize last week.
Yes.
And Startup Prize is a big thing.
Yes, it is. And, I know it may not seem as glamorous
Yeah.
when you have all of these really artistic, creative entrepreneurs who
Right.
are running around at Prizefest, right? But Startup Prize is pretty sexy itself, I'd like to say. And
I agree with you 100%. When you think about entrepreneurship, when you think about starting an enterprise, starting a business, I mean, that's you got to get your creative juices flowing.
Well, you sure do. And you realize that there's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pieces to pick up. And you might need to start wearing a lot of hats. And, with Startup Prize, yes, it's a competition, but at the end of the day, it really is an opportunity for these entrepreneurs to access mentorship and to access resources and really create these networks and communities of support that are going to help them continue to evolve their businesses and put them on the path to success.
Now, when Startup Prize began, it was kind of a free-for-all in terms of bring the idea, right?
Right. So Startup Prize really has been around since 2014. When the prize began, it was an entrepreneurial competition and completely industry agnostic. So any idea that you had, anything
you could bring
under the
the
sun,
idea.
you bring it in. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So how did it evolve? Because it's evolved now. It really has a particular focus, right?
Right. So in 2020, you may remember little, global pandemic.
That little thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. And we decided to pivot, which is another word you probably haven't heard in a while. But basically, we took a year off from Startup Prize.
Right.
And we really started kind of looking at things, right? So first, we looked at our past winners. And a lot of those winners, or about half, were in the health and medical sector.
Okay.
Then we looked at our region. And we have a medical hub here.
We
have a
really
level
do.
1 trauma center. I mean, we are a regional medical hub. There's a trauma center. There's the medical school, LSU Health Sciences.
We are a regional medical hub for well over 1 million people when you look at the entire, I guess, you don't hear this word too much anymore, Arklatex, right?
I still use Arklatex.
Yeah, I do too, but
right.
I think I date myself when I use it, but I don't know.
They don't say that anymore?
I don't know. I say it.
Hey, it's okay. It's still a cool thing to say.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love that. Thanks, Jimmie. But yeah, so we looked at that. We looked at the fact that we have this thriving community for health, medical, and a lot of innovation happening here as well. And lastly, we looked at the entire landscape. I mean, here we had this global pandemic, which exposed a lot of problems in the healthcare system. It exposed issues with equity, with access. And we thought, I bet a lot of folks are going to be innovating in this area and looking to solve some of these big problems that have been exposed.
Yeah.
So in 2021, we made the shift to focus on health. And in fact, we now refer to it as Startup Prize Focus on Health. And the idea is that we bring in early stage health focused entrepreneurs and they are able to, as I said, access mentorship, make connections with other entrepreneurs or with experts that they need help in different areas. And
very similar. I'm sorry to interrupt, but very similar to film and
are you
music
seeing a pattern?
I mean, that's the same energy
It
as
really
Prizefest.
is. Yeah. I mean, if you look across all of those programs, there's always some form of mentorship, right?
Yes.
Like helping
Yes.
people further their careers.
Right.
There's some form of community building within the community itself, like connecting local filmmakers with local filmmakers, connecting regional musicians with musicians from out of the area, and connecting them with industry professionals who will continue to help them up their game.
Right.
And then there's some sort of exhibition, right? So if you look across Prizefest, everyone is exhibiting their creative talents in some form. And then there's
creativity is being elevated, if you will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then there is always a competition and a prize money component.
Yeah. But, and Gregory made this point last week, and I think it's such a good point. Yeah, the money's there, and the money's a great thing. I mean, when you just picking on the film, $50,000 is life-changing for a filmmaker.
Absolutely.
But what's really life-changing is the community, the connection and community that's made. And that's what I see across all of it, including Startup Prize.
I love that you put it that way. It's funny because, we talk a lot about it in the office and we talk a lot about it with the entrepreneurs when we're talking about startup prize and getting to the finals. And what we always say is the cash prize, that's the small prize.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
the big prize are those connections, because you realize that those connections are going to lead you further down the path. And you just
Absolutely.
never know who is going to make that next introduction for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
talking to Melissa Brennan, the Associate Director of Prize Foundation today. Prize Thursday here on Strategies for Living. I got to talk to you about the Robinson Film Center. 15 candles on that cake.
That's right.
Right? No place.
Happy birthday.
Absolutely no place like the Robinson. We're so blessed to have Prize. We're so blessed to have the Robinson. 617 Texas Street, downtown Shreveport.
Don't forget that bistro.
Oh, Abby Singer's Bistro, second floor of RFC, open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Saturday. And, you can always check out what's playing, because there's something always changing. A lot of people are looking forward to the Robinson movie at the Robinson, right? The Blind.
The Blind. There we go. There it
yeah,
is.
The Blind's, I think, opening up a little later in the month.
The story of the dynasty.
You can keep up with it. All you got to do is go to robinsonfilmcenter.org. But you want to become a member because we've got 15 candles on the cake. We want to see 30
right.
and 45 and 60 and on and on and on. So become a member, get discounts on movies, get concession upgrades, get bistro deals. RFC, 617 Texas Street, downtown Shreveport, robinsonfilmcenter.org. And welcome back. Welcome back into 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Jimmie, Bryant, David McMillian. We're here with Melissa Brennan, who is the Associate Director of Prize Foundation, who's telling us what she's trying to cure Jimmie's FOMO.
Get rid of it.
Is it getting better over there?
I am feeling better.
So you're getting ready to go to prizefest.com and hit that button that says buy your tickets, right? That's right. Yeah,
That's right.
That's the way. That's the real cure for FOMO.
I want to make sure that I have this correct. LAStartupPrize.com.
LAStartupPrize.com is for Startup Prize. You
Right.
got that. Yes, the website for that. Absolutely.
And it's a separate website from the Prizefest website,
Correct,
right?
because Startup Prize
It's a little different.
a little bit
Under
it's
the
kind of its
umbrella.
little
Yeah.
island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about the winners. So tell us about some of the competitors and some of the winners. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we're really excited because what excites me about Startup Prize is not only the caliber of startups that we're seeing in just 3 short years of shifting that focus.
Right.
But we're seeing folks from around the country who are actually coming here to Shreveport, Louisiana to talk about their ideas, to talk about their startups, their businesses,
I
and to
think that's
potentially
wonderful.
get some
Yeah.
money. Yeah. And so, we kind of start at the beginning of the year and we begin our recruiting process. So we reach out to accelerators around the country. We
Right.
sometimes reach out directly to the businesses and startups themselves, like, this is a really interesting idea. Why don't you come hang out with us, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so, and even past competitors will reach out. We really want to make it as diverse and inclusive as possible. We don't charge a fee to be part of Startup Prize.
Right.
We want to make sure that anyone who is interested in being part of it is able to.
So it could be, and it's healthcare,
Right.
So this could be medical devices. This could be drug therapy
Sure.
or pharma type stuff. This could be services.
Absolutely.
Could be diagnostics. Could be
Yeah, anything really
anything
that
like
falls
that.
under that banner.
Or health tech.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we ended up doing is we divided the competition into 2 separate tracks.
Right.
So there's one track for any startup that needs some sort of FDA approval in order to
Okay.
get to market. And that
Okay.
tends to be
The
medical
pharma-
devices,
medical devices,
pharma,
pharmaceuticals and stuff like that.
You
Yeah.
got this. And
Yeah.
then our non-FDA track is we tend to see a lot of health tech in there, apps that help track
Right.
wellness or features
Our
like
health
that.
products and services, wellness
Absolutely.
products and services, because that's
You got it.
you're talking a huge industry there.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And and when you really kind of think about health and wellness, it kind of even extends even further.
It
right?
becomes massive when you start to think about all of that.
absolutely. So we start off in order to be considered for the finals for Startup Prize. There's just 2 things you have to do.
Right.
So the first is you have to attend a qualifying event.
Okay.
And those qualifying events are where people are able to access that mentorship and make those connections and build that community.
Wow.
Right? So during those qualifying events, we host roundtables with subject matter experts, each hosting these. And really, they kind of run the gamut for any sort of expertise these startups might need. So that might be very general, like financial. For example, we might have a CPA come in and
Right.
help people with creating realistic valuations for their business, right?
Right.
Or we might have someone who's going to help you out with financial projections, which can be really intimidating if you don't have any revenue coming in
absolutely.
yet, right?
Or
Like,
if you're
how do
not
you even
if-
project?
Yeah, if that's not your area of expertise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or we have folks come in and help with marketing, branding. We have legal help. It might be in the form of like getting your patents, your IP in order.
How do you protect this invention or idea that you've got
exactly.
now? Yeah.
And of course, we have folks that are also there to talk about funding and investment. Like, what makes you attractive to investors? What are they looking for? But beyond that, because the focus is health, we also bring in people that are more savvy within that health area. So you might need help with what are providers looking for,
Right.
Or
Right.
if you have something that you want a hospital system to adopt, how do you start to become that standard of care to where a hospital administrator would be like, yes, this is a system
Would really
I need.
perk up and take notice.
Absolutely. Or how do you work with insurance companies to make sure you have a product or a service that's covered so that you're reimbursed, right?
That seems like a popular question. It would be a popular
Yeah,
concern.
absolutely. Absolutely. And so these events are really an opportunity for folks to access that information. And what we find is not only are they learning from the mentors that we bring in, but they're learning from one another. And
Yeah.
you realize that like
Yeah.
you're all kind of going through the same thing, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
there's all of these things that are kind of steps to forming a business. And so you see really collaborative environment where it's kind of that mentality of we all rise together, which is so exciting and lovely to see, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it's a competition, but we hear so often that it's really more of this kind of collaborative community that's all there to like kind of see you succeed.
So who was the big winner this year?
So we had 2 winners this year.
Oh,
so
wow.
for our FDA track, the company that won was Vivify Medical. And Vivify Medical is based out of Houston, Texas. And they are working they're creating a new procedure to help with BPH, which I can't remember what BPH stands for. I apologize. I am not a medical science person.
Understand.
But BPH is the constriction of the urethra. It deals with your prostate, and basically, problem for many men as they age.
Yeah.
And right now, a lot of the procedures are very invasive. They don't often work.
Right.
And they have come up with a minimally invasive process that has pretty much no side effects. You wouldn't
Wow.
need to be on any sort of medication. I mean, the outcomes are incredible, and we truly believe this will be like the new standard of care.
Benign
Prostate.
prostatic
Yes.
hypoplasia.
Yes.
Yeah.
It basic-
BPH.
Yes. Sends you to the bathroom a lot.
Yeah. It's not
Doesn't sound
a
fun.
cancer, but
No.
it does raise the risk of prostate
Right.
cancer.
Yes.
And so this is a big deal.
Absolutely. So
Wow.
this was our FDA track winner.
Okay.
There's
And-
some big words on this
I
website.
know. Don't worry. We'll get to the tequila soon, folks. And then our other winner was the company Steady Spoon.
Study spoon?
Steady Spoon.
Steady Spoon?
Like hold it
Steady Spoon.
steady, right?
Okay.
And so Steady Spoon, it's a company that they're starting out with a spoon. It's a mechanical device that helps anyone with tremors that has a hard time.
wow.
Right. So a lot of times, the tremor, it really.
If you've got Parkinson's or if you've
Exactly.
got
Ooh,
advanced.
that's genius.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. So it basically is a mechanical device that gives people independence.
Yeah.
Right? And it kind of steadies the spoon. And so there's all sorts of ideas that are kind of coming forth from that as well. I think he plans to add like maybe a fork component, a knife component, even maybe a pin component.
Now, do we all hear this, folks? Do we all hear this? This is coming out of Shreveport, Louisiana.
Well, I mean, the companies.
Well, no,
right,
yeah,
but yeah, everyone's
but
coming here. And
It's coming. These companies are coming here
Looking for opportunity.
Looking for opportunity.
yes, absolutely.
That's what I want us all to hear because,
Right.
it's so easy to be critical
Yes.
of our community. But, man,
Yeah,
when you
and-
think about the stuff that we have going,
Absolutely.
that a lot of us don't even know is here.
Well, and I think it's a really like a win-win-win, right? Because
Yeah.
the competition is a win for the entrepreneurs, and they
Right.
get to meet fellow entrepreneurs, they get to meet mentors, they get to meet potential investors,
They
right?
get to form that community, if you
right,
will,
and they get
the
to if they are
connections.
like in it, right? I mean, they get to continue to evolve their business. It's
Right.
going to be something that's going to help them activate and transform and continue to grow.
And whether you're an artist or an entrepreneur starting a business, one of the most difficult things to do is get the ear of an expert.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's hard.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Just to get their time.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes.
got it.
Yep.
Yeah, so a win for the entrepreneurs, a win for our mentors and investors, right? It gives them a chance to meet these kind of up and coming companies,
Right.
right? And really the competition almost acts as a due diligence. You know,
Right.
the finalists get
Yeah.
into a room, they get to each final company, each final startup gets 1 hour in a room with a panel of investor judges. And not only are they able to present their business, but it's kind of taken through a whole process where they're asked questions. Some judges even like offer suggestions, like, have you thought about this? And so it's really like a deep dive into your business.
Yeah.
And some of these folks are walking out with investment dollars on top, right?
That's
because
wonderful.
as long as you are a finalist, as long as you are in the room, any investor judge on that panel has the opportunity to invest in that business.
So in those 2 tracks,
Mm-hmm.
you're talking 10 grand cash for each of those 2
for
tracks.
each track.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you get the and again, that could be potentially life changing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and as we said, like that's the small prize, right?
Yeah.
But there might be someone in that room that introduces you to the guy that's going to give you $500,000 for your Series A, right?
Exactly.
Or they
Exactly.
might do it themselves.
Yeah.
And then I think it's also a win for our community, right? I mean, like
Big time.
to your point, these are companies that are just getting started. They are coming here to Shreveport. They are enjoying their time in Shreveport.
Yes.
They are seeing what we have to offer in our area. They are meeting people here in our area and beyond that are looking to help them and can
Right.
connect them with resources. And so we're really excited about it. And we're thrilled for Vivify Medical and Steady Spoon. And I can't wait to see
What comes
them-
next?
Yeah,
What's
right?
coming?
Two truly awesome companies. I don't know if you went and checked out that spoon. It's cool. Check
Yeah.
it out when we hit break. It's
Okay,
cool.
I'm going to do that. Well, let's take a break now. Melissa Brannon, the Associate Director of Prize Foundation, want to come back, and I want to talk to you about the festival end of this.
Let's
okay?
do it.
But before we do that, let's talk about Shreveport Little Theater, American theater at its best. The buzz is still going on. I mean, it has not calmed down yet. People are still talking about always Patsy Cline, sold out, sold out, sold out. But look, that's behind us now, and ahead of us, the next on stage, My Way.
Yeah.
October. I think it begins October the 27th.
We're gonna get suited up. We're gonna go.
And now the end is near. What
Yeah.
are you talking about? Of course we're gonna.
We got to
go.
get suited up though. We got to look good going. on.
Okay, I got you. But look, folks, you got to get your tickets now because this thing's going to sell out too. ShreveportLittleTheater.com's the way to do it. You can get your tickets right now, and while you're there, you can get season tickets, and that's what I would encourage you to do because the Wonderettes are back in December with Winter Wonderettes. You've got in January 5 women wearing the same dress. You've got February and March. You've got Dial M for Murder, and then it couldn't happen any better. I mean, just what a beautiful way to end the 102nd season of SLT. Jimmie Buffett's Escape to Margaritaville.
It's gonna be a special
Comes
show.
in April. Yeah, it really will be. So ShreveportLittleTheater.com. Get your tickets right now. 812 Margaret Place in Shreveport. It is American theater at its best. ShreveportLittleTheater.com. And welcome back. Welcome back into 1017 FM and 710 Keel. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Jimmie Bryant, David McMillian, our life strategist. Have you ever been a life strategist before, Melissa?
No.
Okay, well, see, you qualify. You qualify in a big way. Jimmie's working on your certificate back there.
Oh, it's done.
Oh, nice.
You
I
got
had a
some
feeling today.
you got some peanut butter on it on the side of it there. You know,
That's
you
good.
might
It's a snack for
get
later.
that.
There
get
we
that
go.
on. Yeah,
See,
okay.
She's a team player.
Yeah, there you go. All right. He also will give you some juicy fruit gum so you can put it
love
up on the
that.
wall. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So I want to talk about, Prizefest, the fest.
The fest.
The fest in
Yeah.
Prizefest.
Yeah.
It is what it's an experience, and there's really it's really hard to bring words to describe. How do you describe what happens? I mean, of course, Prize goes on all year, as we've just
Sure.
talked about. I mean, there's some aspect that is evolving and moving all year, but then you have, here we come to October. This year, October the 13th through the 21st. How do we describe what happens over that period of time, those 2 weekends?
Well, I would say, it's a culmination and a celebration, first
Yeah.
and foremost, right?
Yeah,
Because this
yeah.
is the culmination of all of the work of these creative folks
Yeah.
during the year, right?
Yeah.
So they've been through, the creation, if they're like working on films, they've been playing, they've made it through semifinals, and this is kind of like the big showdown throwdown, if you will.
Yeah.
And for me, you've probably heard it before, but we always say it's like kind of like a big glitter bomb went off in downtown Shreveport.
Yeah.
And it really,
yeah.
to me, I feel like in many ways, it kind of transforms Shreveport, downtown Shreveport for like those weekends. And it makes, I think, kind of makes me think about what Shreveport can be, you know? I mean, it really...
What Shreveport is becoming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what I love about Prizefest is how many different kinds of people come out,
Yeah, you see all.
It is all kinds,
Yeah.
right? And we
Everybody.
say, like,
Everybody.
come out, right?
And they hang out together.
Right,
That's
and-
what's so neat, right?
Absolutely. And there's something for everyone, right? Like, some folks are like, I'm just all in on fashion, right? Like,
Yeah.
I want to come for like this boozy brunch. I want to watch the runway.
Right.
And like, that's it. That's Prizefest for me.
Right.
Other
Right.
folks are like hard into film. And some folks are like, I'm all of it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to do all of it. I'm going to squeeze
Right.
it all in.
I want to get the music. I want to get the film. I want to get the food.
I
yeah.
think that
Well, yeah.
energy is very Louisiana, and one of the things
That's
that
a good
makes
point,
us
Jimmie.
unique.
That's a good point.
We are not New York, we're not LA, we're not Chicago, but we still have a melting pot of people coming together with Prizefest that gives me that kind of energy. It makes
Yeah.
me feel like
Yeah.
I'm in a big place because I'm seeing everybody sitting together, enjoying people expressing themselves, learning and appreciating art.
And it's all, to me, and it's all throughout Prizefest. Louisiana's big on spice,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
and of course, in Food Prize, you get the spice, right? I'm sure.
I mean,
right?
you get all kinds
You
of
get all
things. I
kinds
mean,
of
you
things.
can
But
find it.
really, the spice is throughout the entire. Because what Prizefest is showing us is the spice in our community.
I love that.
Whether you're talking about fashion, whether you're talking about food, whether you're talking about film, whether you're talking about music, and now stand-up comedy too.
Right.
It's the spice,
The spice of life.
and we love it. We in Louisiana, we can appreciate our spice, can't we?
Yeah, I love that. Well, and it's cool too because not only do you have a lot of the local community coming out, right? But you
Right.
also have folks coming from around the country because
Sure.
we have
Absolutely.
competitors coming from California or
And
New
that
York
has
or
grown
Missouri.
and grown and grown as Prize has grown. And
Absolutely.
evolved.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of continuing to kind of expand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I to me, it's great to kind of see all these folks come together, and it's just, I think you can kind of find your spot, right? I mean, like your spot might be film, and you have a film festival that, you know, is showcasing short films all produced here in the state.
Yeah, and then if you're really big into film, you might pick out, and you can go to Prizefest.com and you could look at all of this. But let me just pick on, since you mentioned film.
No, let's
you've
talk
got
about
you've
film.
got prize, you've got Film Prize U, and so you've
Right.
got industry panels.
Yes.
That takes place on the 21st, on Saturday the 21st at the Robinson.
Yeah.
Up on the second floor. And so you've got all the mentor judges from Film Prize that are going to host panel discussions and Q&As and discussing the independent film industry. And then, you know, what's the next step? How do you grow?
Yeah.
How do you grow your filmmaking career? And it's a free event. It's open to the public. So there's all kinds of things all throughout. And I just, you know, not to pick on just one because there's a ton of them. So what I want people to do, I want people to go to prizefest.com and spend some time exploring the different competitions and the special events and parties that you can be a part of. Now, they're not all, you know, like I picked one, the Film Prize U. That's a free thing, open to the public. They're not all, you know, some of them you have to get your reservations for and all
Well,
that.
sure.
But it's all explained. But you can
And it's all accessible.
and it's all accessible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like for film, you know, like, yes, of course, there's tickets where you pay your $40 or $50. That gets you in to see all the films.
And you actually get to put your opinion.
Well, yeah, as
you
an
get to
attendee,
judge.
as a pass holder, you watch all 20 short films,
Right.
and then you get to cast your vote not only for the best film, but for best performance.
And the crowds, that counts at least, what, 50%?
Right. So
Yeah.
the Louisiana Film Prize is really unique. You know, first of all, $50,000 cash prize for the winning short film.
Can
That
be
is-
life-changing for
Nothing
a filmmaker.
I mean,
Sneeze
that could be
at.
life-changing for anyone, right?
That
I mean,
is life-changing.
but the largest cash prize for a
let
short
me
narrative
let
film.
me just put out there, I'll take it.
Yes, I would be cool with that.
Yeah.
So, and the voting is really interesting. So, half of the vote comes from our judges, right?
Right.
So, like, it's weighted 50% from our judges,
And those are professional industry people, right?
exactly, and it runs the gamut. They're actors, they're producers, they're writers. They run other festivals. Like we have a woman who has been with Tribeca from the start. Sharon Badal is going to be coming
Wow.
in, and like she like is helping select Oscar winners. You know, I mean, so it's a chance for these folks to come in, and their votes are half the vote,
Right.
right? 50% weight, and
Right.
the other weight is from the audience. And
That is so
sometimes
cool.
I'm here to tell you, sometimes I think it lines up pretty good. Like the judges and audience are kind of in agreement, and
Yeah.
sometimes it
And
doesn't.
sometimes no.
And like it's really neat to
That's
see like
fun.
how it ends up coming down, and the
Yeah.
same is true for best performance.
We get to express our voice, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of opportunity at Prize Fest to also engage and be part of it. Music Prize is the same way. So I mean, it's Music Prize, but at the end of the day, it's a showcase, like a discovery showcase. If
Yeah.
you are like a person that is like into music, this is a music festival where you're going to find those kind of up and coming acts that are just getting started.
Yeah.
You know, so like you could be like the one like I was there when, right?
Yeah,
And
really.
same as Film Prize, there's also a public vote. So you get your tickets to Music Prize. It's
Right.
$40. You get 2 nights of live music, right? I mean,
Yep.
that's a steal.
Yep.
And as long as you've seen at least 3 acts, you get to cast a vote for like audience choice best performance, and you get to help select a winner, and that has a cash prize, and that is making a difference for someone.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it is. Absolutely, it is.
And like as a music lover myself, I get really excited because not only do we have local acts, we have regional acts, and then we have acts from across the country. I mean, so it's really exciting. I don't think I would, I mean, I know like these days, right? You've got the internet, there's all sorts of ways to access, like music is so much more accessible than it used to be, right? I mean, I
Right.
remember like digging through magazines, writing to labels to like send me like their catalogs and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But like, you can find a lot, you know, online, but like, when do you get the opportunity to see some of these bands live?
Live in
You know.
person.
It's different.
And watching, we don't harp on the competition, and we know that that's really not the true prize. But watching winners get that check is akin to watching someone win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
I would agree. I cry every year
Yeah.
when they announce the winner of Film Prize because that one's so big. And like
Yeah.
I'm like I'm gonna cry at weddings.
It's heavy.
I mean, look at it. I mean, there's a word in Louisiana, and I've discovered as I've interviewed people from other states, but most people, when you say lanyap, if they're not from Louisiana, they don't know what you're talking
don't know.
about. They have
That's
no idea
true.
what you're talking about. But you talk about lanyap. I mean, Prize has it. I mean, you got the cash money.
Yeah.
You've got the audience that is truly engaged. I mean, we're probably talking about 10,000 people or more that are gonna.
Between all
of the events are gonna attend, right? You've got the mentorship factor, and you've got community. I mean, wow. I mean, talk about lanyap. A little something extra.
Well, and then there's also tequila.
And then there's also
So there's some real extra.
Gregory did kind of mention that last week. There's he did kind of throw that in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe just a little bit,
fruit
right?
of the agave,
just a
if
little
I
bit.
remember.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like code.
Yeah. And that's just part of the lanyap, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about film, we're talking about food, we're talking about music, we're talking about fashion, the comedy.
Yeah.
The comedy, that's an exciting addition, right?
It is. So this is our third year of comedy.
Yep.
Ryan Hope got us started with Comedy Prize, kind of came with the idea several years ago with like a little small stand-up comedy night, just like a little thing to plug in one evening. I want to say back in 2019.
Yeah.
And it was like so many people showed up. It was super fun. It was so cool. And it was like
you got 7 stand-up comedians that are going to take the stage, and that's going to be at the Remington Garage.
Correct.
Right? And they're going to compete for $2,500 cash.
Oh yeah.
And from the panel of celebrity comedy judges.
That's right.
And
kind of like Music Prize, again, these kind of up and coming comics. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know. You have to go check out the bios online. I mean, so if you go to prizefest.com, you can also learn about all the people that are coming, right?
Yeah.
You can learn about the films that are going to be screened. You can learn about the musicians who are coming in, the acts, and like what type of music it is.
Yeah.
You can learn about these comedians and like all the stuff they've been doing.
The chefs and what they're
oh my gosh,
do.
incredible
And that's
local
probably
chefs here.
your that's probably your area because you kind of got involved through that area. Didn't you?
I did. Yeah. Incredible local chefs here. I mean, we're in Louisiana, right?
Yeah,
We are people that like to eat.
We're beyond blessed.
It's a birthright.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I would say in Shreveport, we really are as well. We have so many incredibly talented chefs here in our area that are really helping to elevate the food scene here. And like these other prizes, Food Prize, I think, really helps build that community. When I first moved back, I did compete in Food Prize, and that was how I met a lot of the chefs here in town.
Yeah.
And
you
can
made
talk
those
with these
connections.
folks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so often, you're head down, you're running the kitchen. And this is really an opportunity for chefs to get together, to like chat. I mean, like you learn so much from your colleagues, right?
Absolutely.
And just to like take a step back, have the opportunity to really stretch. They've all had to put on these incredible dinners with the Golden Fork Society. This is a dinner series where like you kind of get through that qualification process.
Right.
And, really to have this platform to really be able to like kind of stand up. We want to like put a bright spotlight on these. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but like I love to eat.
Oh,
David,
yeah.
I know
we've got some
I know we
great
got to
places
go.
be.
Yeah.
I that just reminds me of a martial art of like kung fu. The chefs never really get to have that community really. Like they're on their islands. They may see each other during off times, but there's Prize Fest affords them something I don't believe they get very often.
Yeah, and an opportunity to collaborate together as well, which is really nice.
This is an experience like no other. Comes up October the 13th through the 21st. Of course, that's the culmination of it. It goes on all year.
That's right.
Check out prizefest.com for Prize 2023 and all that's going on. Melissa Brannon will be right back here on Strategies for Living. And welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Jimmie Bryant, David McMillian, Melissa Brennan, the Associate Director of Prize Foundation. You know, Melissa, it's like we've talked for an hour, but I'm aware when it comes to Prize 2023, we've just barely scratched the surface in an hour. So, you know, I'm not sure that you've completely cured Jimmie's FOMO yet. So
I'm feeling pretty good.
Jimmie will have to give us another 3 hours on the air.
That
You
sounds
think you
great.
can talk him into it?
I think that'll get me there.
You think that'll do it? Yeah. Okay.
Let's just go. Let's start now.
Yes, sir. He's probably not going to let us have the extra 3 hours, but I tell you what, we'll come back and do this again next Thursday and the following Thursday, and you know we'll just have fun talking Prize Fest, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity. It's been fun hanging out.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for all you do, and folks, go to prizefest.com and learn all about the party schedule, the competition events, get your Prize Fest passes. That's the place to go and explore all the competitions, learn all about it. Prizefest.com. Melissa Brennan, thank you so much for being a part of Strategies for Living. Folks, thank you. Thank you for being a part of Strategies for Living, because you're the reason we do this each and every day, and we do it because we have wonderful sponsors like Prize Fest, a festival of film and food and music, fashion and stand-up comedy. We're brought to you by the Robinson Film Center, by Azalea Cleaners, by Pintail Roofing, by Learning Rx, by Hempress, Cannabis with Love, 3766 Uri Drive in Shreveport, and by the Shreveport Little Theater. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call to make, who would you call? What would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Melissa Brennan and for Jimmie Bryant, I'm David McMillian. See you next time, right here on Strategies for Living.
Love is